Check that you have all of your patterns: front, back, collar, facing. On the front, mark out the curved line according to the paper pattern. Sew up the darts. Trace the line from the paper pattern onto the facing panel. Align the facing to the front and sew the panels together, stopping exactly at the marking. Grab a pair of scissors and cut through both layers of fabric just below the stitches. Stop exactly at the marking. Turn the facing inside out. And iron well. Fold the bias tape into half and iron well. Intentionally make one half slightly longer than the other, with the shorter side facing down. Place the bias tape just below the curved line. Sew in the folded crease. Starting from the side seam all the way to the marking. Where the stitches end at the opening, snip into the shorter edge of the bias tape. This allows you to fold the bias tape so that it wraps the raw edges of the fabric. With the bias tape folded into half, sew along the bottom edge from the side seam to the center front, sealing up the bias tape completely. Sew the front and back panels together along the shoulder with a 1 cm seam allowance and side seam with a 1.5 cm seam allowance. Stop exactly at the slit opening. At the slit opening, fold inwards by 1.5 cm and iron well. Then top stitch 1 cm from the folded edge. For the skirt hem, fold it by 1.5 cm and iron well. Then top stitch 1 cm from the folded edge. At the armhole, Fold inwards by 1 centimeter and iron well. Then top stitch 0.8 cm from the folded edge. On the collar, transfer the shoulder markings from the paper pattern. Align both collar panels together and sew with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Make sure to flip up the bottom edges of the collar by 0.8 cm and sew it down just like this. Grab a pair of scissors and snip into the seam allowances to reduce tension and bulk. Spread open the panels and understitch on the collar panel with no interfacing. Sew the collar to the neckline with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Make sure to match up the notches to the shoulder seams. Starting from the center front, sew the collar with interfacing to the neckline. With a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Once you're done, check on the right side for any folds or puckering. Make corrections if necessary. If everything looks good, snip into the seam allowances to reduce the tension. Push up all the seam allowances and iron well. Flip down the collar with no interfacing, tucking in all the seam allowances. To cover up the raw edge, fold it inwards by 0.8 cm and iron well. Then from the right side, carefully sew in the ditch, making sure to catch onto the folded edge below. Finally, hand sew some frog buttons to keep the opening closed when you're wearing the top. And there you have it. Your dress is completed.